Hi everyone. I welcome you all to the another episode of Expert Roundup, and today I have a very special guest, Paul Perron, who is co-founder of Messenger Chatbot University, and now he is pretty much involved in Nano Influencer marketing and agency thing. Uh, Let me add him. Hey Paul, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah,
How's your day been so far? You're
yeah,
you're at the
like
end of your day. You're at 9 p.m., aren't you?
yeah, it's 9
Or
p.m. and we
yeah,
work till
yeah.
like
I'm
middle of the night. Yeah,
I'm 9 a.m. here, so exactly the opposite.
exactly 12 opposite. So how's your day been? Oh, so you just
Well,
started. You're having a cup of coffee right now.
it just started. I got in a fight with my wife,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to apologize to her later, and we'll make up. And you know,
yeah, that's great.
it's
Yeah, I can
it's
understand.
it's 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 life. It's life.
Yeah, it's live. It's live. Hey, so Paul, as like I made several announcement with my community members that Paul is the one who was the kid, like who was initial, like I would say, the pioneer when it's come to messenger marketing bots, respective to Amazon, and now you have been up pretty much in limelight when it's come to influencer marketing. How you transit, like what's the transition between like from messenger marketing to influencer marketing? How does it happen?
Yeah, that's a good question because how we did the influencer stuff was when we first started, I wasn't really thinking of them as influencer, like we're building out influencers. I had just thought we're building a brand rep team because on Instagram, if you're in the baby space or mommy space, anything like that, brand repping is a big deal. And so we had started 4 years ago running brand rep searches. And at the time, how you ran them is you would ask people to tag a friend in a photo, share your photo on their page, and then tag you in three of their photos. And this was all normal thing. And the reason why we did that was because we wanted to prove that they would actually follow directions. Because they didn't, you don't want to work with people that aren't going to work with you and follow directions. Um, in December 2017, Facebook rolled out an algorithm update called it was their anti-engagement bait algorithm update. And in a nutshell, what that algorithm update did was look at anything that said tag. Like they looked at words like tag someone or tag a friend or tag a or comment below or share this post if you agree, that sort of stuff. Because they were seeing that there was a lot of low quality spammy posts that people were sharing with their friends that their friends found no value in. Their friends hated it. They're like, stop tagging me in these stupid photos. So Facebook rolled out an anti-engagement bait algorithm update in December, and we had to pivot. And I was already using ManyChat. I was already using chatbots. And so I figured, hey, why don't we actually just run ads and have them go to Messenger and then have the brand reps or the potential influencers fill out an application inside Messenger. And that was how all of this began. And it's funny because you had said, me being a pioneer messenger in the messenger bot chatbot space. Um, I guess I'm a pioneer in the influencer space too. It's just I wasn't talking about it until now. So
Yeah. So you have shared like how the transition happened from messenger marketing to chatbot. No, from
yeah,
chatbot to influencer marketing. So
correct.
right now you're running an agency for Nano Influencer, right?
hmm Yeah, so we
Yeah.
started. Yeah, we started an agency, and by we, so it's Norm Farrar. You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Norm. So Norm and I, we started an agency back last year. I had spoken at an event that Tim Jordan put on in
Yeah.
February. And one of the biggest things that I had always been getting requests on in the chatbot space was to have people hire me to do it. And I just didn't have time. So I'd always tell them no. Norm approached me. And so we're a full service agency. We do chat marketing and we run influencer campaigns for people. And we do those in tandem because we really believe that the best way for Amazon sellers or any business owner in general to succeed is to have a raving fan base of people that you can go to and sell to over and over and over again. And so on one hand, we're building out like the nano influencers for people, and then on the other hand, we're leveraging chatbots to help drive traffic to Amazon. And because we've got that base of raving fans, um, it actually decreases your ad cost and it increases your conversion rate when you start running ads.
Yeah, so it works both in parallel, like a messenger marketing along with influencer marketing. So everything
Exactly.
works in parallel. You don't need to go with only one strategy. So it's always work. So I have few things like as you know, this influencer marketing thing is way popular in US. But what about UK? Like if someone wants to start with a UK influencer marketing, so what
Mhm.
should be the element that they should consider before entering it?
Well, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It has to do with your fit, your message to market match. And this is across the board, whether you're working with influencers or not. You need to make sure that you understand who your market is, who you're targeting, and that you're communicating with them how they communicate with each other. Right. So you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you're using that same language. And so that's why I love working with influencers, because generally speaking, if you know your audience and you do a good job researching your audience, you understand what they like, what they hate, what they're afraid of, what they're not, what they dream about, those sorts of things, then you can find people that already, communicate with them on that level. And I mean, the results that you get are phenomenal. Now, I have to say, like any business thing, this is not easy. It takes a lot of work, but if you do it, the work really, really pays off. It's one of those things that, okay, let me say, like, I get a lot of spam messages from people all the time. It's really annoying. That same amount of work that people are spamming me, they could spend that same amount of work to actually build a relationship and actually then talk to me and then work with me that way. So think of it like that, because I'm an influencer in the Amazon space. I get spammed all the time, but it's not about people working with me promoting. I delete spam messages. And so the same people that say, like, run businesses that spam people to get them to buy their services or whatever, they could take a slightly different approach. It's the exact same amount of work and build a relationship, then turn that relationship into one where it's a mutually beneficial one.
Yeah, so I completely agree with this. Like, even though I do get a whole lot of spam messages and I never respond to them, this is what I do. Most like
Me too.
every time, this is what I do. So I don't reply to them. Okay, so one thing here. So this nano influencer thing is pretty new because people were well aware of what influencer marketing is,
Mhm.
and when we say influencer marketing, so it's not something that has been following for long decade. This is a new thing, right? It's been started like 3, 4, 5 years ago, most likely, and within
Yeah.
this last year it got a huge boom, right, in this industry.
Yeah.
So what specifically nano marketing is?
Yeah. So what I like to impress upon people is that I would posit, I would like to submit that our idea of influencer marketing is wrong. That generally speaking, people think of influencer marketing as the Kim Kardashians of the world. And so nano influencer is just the opposite end of that. What I like to tell people is that influencer, every single person on the planet is an influencer. We all have influence in our spheres, in our friends, in our family. Generally speaking, we have influence with them. So if you're to go to your mom and say, "Oh my gosh, mom, I had the best coffee at this new shop, or the best tea, you have to try it." You tell that to your mom listens to you, right? Because she loves you. Um, right? That's influence. Um, but when it comes to like the nano market, instead of mega, nano influencers are generally people on Instagram that have followings less than 10,000 people. So they're people that are generally, they've never been a part of a program like this. They've never been approached by anybody offering them free products in exchange for promotion. They've generally not experienced that sort of stuff. And the reason why is that they don't have big reach. But the good thing about influencers, the most amazing thing that are in the nano market, is that their engagement is through the roof. And because they're small, the people that are following them are generally, if you do your research right on your products and whatnot, your customer persona, those influencers, if you've done your research right, will be like, their followers will be in your base of your demographic.
So this is like I this is what I think. Like whenever we look for something, our purchasing decisions are influenced by other. Like right, and this is and this is where influencer marketing comes in. So whenever I want to buy something, obviously I ask my friends, and like if they are already using it, and I need to buy it, so I would say it. Like so I got influenced by them, and this is why I buy it, right? So this is how it works, and that's pretty much okay. So one thing here which I think, why not to work with like influencers who has a huge following, like 100,000 people following them on Instagram, or 1 million people following them on Instagram? They do have a huge audience, right? But why
Mhm.
working with someone having a 10,000 followers?
Yeah, I mean, you very well can. The reason why I like nano influencers, it's the most cost effective. Oftentimes, you don't have to pay them. Um, you end up paying them with free product. Um, with the mega influencers, it's also a lot longer build out time. If you're going to work with somebody who's actually worth working with, they're going to take a lot of time to think through the creative process of how they're going to promote your brand. You don't want to work with people that are just going to take money and then put your stuff up on a post, but there's no strategy behind the communication. Don't work with people like that because they're in it for the money. They don't care about whether or not you're going to sell anything. Um, Generally speaking, the nano influencers do care because the relationship is different. With a mega influencer, it's a very monetary relationship, and it's all about money. It's all about business. With the nano influencer, what we really focus on is building a relationship with them so that it's both a business relationship and a friendship that you're building over time. And now in our brand, we've been able to accomplish this over the past 4 years. We have a group of women that we've worked with for 4 years, some of them 2 years, some of them 3 years. But a lot of them, they're personal friends of ours now on Facebook. We communicate with them. We talk about life. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to replicate that for our customers, our clients, because when you work with somebody who likes you as a person, that likes your brand, that has a deep respect for what you're doing, then they're going to want to promote for you and not charge you every time because they view the relationship differently.
Yeah, and they do have a good relation with their customers, so they are pretty much happy with it. And so
Exactly.
that's work in parallel, right? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you are a pretty famous guy when it's come to Amazon space. People follow you, and I do follow you as well. Like right last night I was on same room on Clubhouse, and I was
That was
listening to
fun.
your chat all the time. I was listening to your chat. So like what would your suggestions, like if I ask you, how do you suggest someone if someone wants to come up as an influencer?
Okay, so if they want to come up as an influencer or if they want to
Yeah,
work with influencers.
no,
Okay, if
they
they want to
like
come,
so they are yeah.
yeah, if they want to become that's such a weird thing because I still struggle with viewing myself as an influencer. I mean, like I said, I had a big argument with my wife this morning, and I'm just a normal person. um, so honestly, you gotta have a good why. I mean, here's my. I'm sure you get a bunch of different answers from different people, but here's my answer. It may be wrong. I don't know. I really believe that God created all humans with a purpose and a destiny. And so my purpose as a human is to show people, like help them along that destiny path, whatever that may be. It doesn't matter where you're born, doesn't matter who you are, how smart you are, whatever. Obviously, like I can be extremely stupid sometimes, and I've still done cool things. So I think you got to get clear on what your end goal is in life. And I really believe that it has to involve serving people to one degree or another. Because if you look at the influencers that do the best, they're the ones that people speak highly of them because they're just good people, right? Like I try to be the same person on stage as I am in my home. Um, and so when I'm on stage, and off stage too, I try to connect with people because my goal is to help people. And so as an influencer, if you make it, I mean, again, this is my take. This is how I've sort of risen. I mean, there's other people that are all about flashy money and all that stuff. That's not me. But I know for sure consistency is key. You've got to be consistent. I've built a following on Clubhouse because I'm consistent every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 3 a.m. your time. and I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. It's pretty early.
Yeah, I was listening to your clubhouse last night, and I was there
You-
because I used to sleep at like 6 a.m. my time, so that's 6 p.m. your mountain time. And I was
oh
like, oh
yeah.
my god, I enjoy this. Like I am a night rider kind of guy. I used to
Oh
like wake up whole night and I sleep in morning. So this is how I work. So
yeah.
like that's I completely relate to it, because if you are providing value, then this is like everyone can be an influencer. I completely agree with this. But if you want to grow, if you want to flourish, you need to provide value to your followers. The
Right.
time you stop doing it, people stop following you.
Well, that
A
you got
right
to
value.
provide value. You got to provide value. It's got to be good for them, not for you,
Yeah,
right? Like
obviously.
value for you is not the same. I mean, sometimes it's a win-win. I mean, I tell people, I mean, one of the things I'm looking to do on Clubhouse is monetize through affiliate marketing, because I get a lot of questions all the time. And I just need to put together a website and say, like, these are the things that I recommend, and just let people know, hey, I'm getting affiliate cut from these. If you don't want to use my link, that's totally fine, whatever. But you got to be consistent too. You got to be honest, consistent, and you got to let, like, if people are expecting you, like, I can't say I've created a monster, but I've created a habit that every single Wednesday I'm going to go live. And so that's on
Yeah,
my schedule. So now I have to think about this. Okay, when I go on vacation, what's going to happen? Because now I have people
exactly.
that are expecting me to do this. So,
I
yeah.
even I have to think this way, because I have this expert roundup every week. So I even
Uh-huh.
have to think, like, if I'm going to travel, so what is going to happen with my show? Like, oh my god, I was like, I planned it for months and months. And for this, like the thing which you are saying, like you need to be consistent. I really follow Danny Clarkson. Oh, sorry, Danny Macmillan, and he is
Okay.
very consistent when it's come to
Oh,
having a podcast. He do it every day during COVID, and I'm a big fan of Danny, obviously, because the consistency this guy has, nobody has, like, honestly.
oh my gosh.
So
Well,
yeah,
yeah, he was crazy. Yeah.
yeah, he do it. So coming back to our discussion, I have few technical questions, definitely, I would say.
Okay.
uh, when we are doing this influencer marketing, how we estimate ROI with influencer marketing, how we can estimate, because that's a very wide thing, right?
That is really hard. I mean, you can, the biggest thing that I look at influencer marketing is consistency again. You got to be consistently in front of your target audience through your influencers. So we ask our influencers to post about us once a week in general when they work with us. And we're not always tracking those clicks. We don't always run promotions. And the reason why we're not running like use my coupon things all the time is um, I don't want to burn their audience out. I don't want their friends and family to be like, oh my gosh, it's Carissa again posting for the fifth time today about those stupid swim diapers or whatever. And what inherently it's challenging because of that fact. Now, when we launch a product or when we're doing some push, we'll give everybody coupons that are tracked to the name. They have affiliate links already. They have coupons that we can track on Amazon. The simple fact of the matter is not everyone's going to use that coupon and not everyone's going to go through their affiliate link. So we can track the ones that do use the coupons and that do use the affiliate links. The things that I have seen across the board is that a crowd attracts a crowd. That concept of if you are seen to be popular, like if you're let's say you're walking down the road and you see a new restaurant opens up and there's a line around the block. But first I would think, oh, it's COVID, so they can't let people inside. So maybe that's what's going on. That would be my first thought.
Oh my god,
my,
oh my god.
my second thought in a normal time, my real thought would be, wow, that place is super popular. I've got to try it. And I don't care if I've never heard of it before, but because I see this massive line of people going around the block, I think, wow, that's really popular. I've got to try that. And so that's the exact same thing with influencer marketing. Like you had said, if your friends and family, your friends say that let's say that all of your friends love a specific brand of underwear for something silly. Like, oh my gosh, this underwear is so good, but they're not taking pictures of it, right? Because that's weird. But they just talk about it. Like you're probably going to go buy a pair of that underwear because they're talking
Uh,
about how great it is. That's what I think about influencer marketing, is that I want to work with everyone's friends. And the friends of the
Yeah.
people, again, they're in the nano market. So I want to say, um, go buy these things. I'm not saying go buy. It's not a sales pitch all the time. It's just product placement, and it's top of mind awareness. And top of mind awareness and product placement is just inherently hard to track. Again, like I said, you can do this if you're using affiliate links, if you're using a coupon code inside Amazon, like a group coupon code,
Yes.
if you're using one of the social
Promo
links,
codes. Yeah,
yeah, the
social
social
promo
promo
codes.
codes. If you're using one of the social promo codes, you can track that way. But otherwise, it's inherently it's pretty
And you can
challenging.
also track it from Amazon attribution link as well, right? If you're providing
Yeah,
your Amazon attribution link, so that's the best way to track it, right?
you can track. That would be one of the best ways. I like the coupon method too because it's very you can search for it and it doesn't they
Yeah.
don't need to necessarily go through a link. Because again, sometimes maybe somebody's scrolling through a feed and they see coupon code, Atif Ahmad,
Yeah.
Atif 10 or something like that. They go to Amazon,
Hmm.
they find your product, they buy it, they put in Atif 10, and then they get their whatever. So they may not
Yeah.
come through a link. So I like to use a whole variety of different approaches. When we first started this, I was using Amazon Associates, but that's annoying because it's only a 24-hour cookie. So if somebody adds it to the cart and then they purchase, 30 days later
Mhm.
or something, it doesn't attribute it because it's a 24-hour cookie. Um, anyway, but Amazon is hard. Shopify is way easier.
Yeah, Shopify is way easier, but like we have this huge community full of Amazon sellers. They
Exactly.
are they are selling good on Amazon, actually selling on Amazon US, UK, and Amazon Germany. So some
Oh,
of them
awesome.
they make around like $1 million per month on Amazon. Some of them they have a sale of around 20,000, 15,000, 50,000. Different like sellers from like every level, from beginner to advanced level sellers.
Okay.
So coming back, like what are the side benefits leverage for review generation when we go for this approach?
The hard part with review generation is you want to just do one review, generally speaking, per influencer. And the reason for that is that Amazon's algorithm looks at patterns. It's a pattern recognition algorithm. So they understand. Let's say if you normally when you sell, let's just say this: if the same 20 people wrote the first 20 reviews of every single one of your products, Amazon would know and they would consider that manipulation. So
Yeah.
we're really careful. We're really careful with that. So what I tell people is when you're working with influencers, you can there's a couple ways that you can leverage this for review generation. The first is when they first work with you the very first time, ask them to leave you feedback on Amazon, and that's a review, right? Um, the really clear thing here that you need to be careful with is terms of service. That if they got it for free, that would be a violation of terms of service. So you got to be really careful about that. What we generally do oftentimes would be like we have multiple ways that influencers start working with our brand. One way is just past customers, and the past customer just starts posting on Instagram. We'll reach out to them and say, "Hey, we love this. Would you mind, leaving your experience on Amazon for us?" And then we'll invite them to become an influencer, and then we'll start giving them free stuff later. But we're not giving them free stuff because they left a review, and that's a very clear delineation that I want people to understand. That if Amazon thinks that you're manipulating the review system, you're going to get shut down. They're going to shut you down
Yeah.
first, and then they'll ask questions later. So the easier way, the cleaner way, well, not easier, the cleaner way is you can just ask them to ask their audiences to leave feedback. Again, it's all about if it's that personal relationship. So let's say let's say that you and I were, best friends growing up or something. And I go to you and I say, Atif, can you help me get these products? Can you help me tell 5 of your friends about this? Really, and then could you follow up with them and see if they could leave a review? If we had that strong relationship, then you would be more inclined to be like, yeah, I'd love to help you out do that. And that's the feeling that we're creating in the groups that we run.
Yeah, I can completely relate to it. So, like that's from my side. Let's take some questions from our audiences. Like they have few questions. Uh, like how can we find about the followers they have? Either they are real or fake
Right.
followers. So the question says, how can we distinguish between real and fake followers?
So generally speaking, if the engagement rate is less than 2%, Well, 2% is actually somewhat high. In between less, we'll just say less than 2%. So let's say a person has 100 followers, then that would mean that every post would get maybe 2 likes or 2 comments, something along those lines. If they have 1,000, then it should be getting 20. You get my point, right?
Yeah, I got
So
your point completely.
so you look at engagement rate. The other thing is that you actually look at the comments themselves. If they're all just like smiley faces, or that looks so good, or what an amazing photo, or something like those, then it's fake.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've been doing influencer marketing for quite few time for quite long time for my own products, and I usually had products in Amazon US. So I have products in some like a restricted domain, you can say, or a restricted categories. All these like supplement and other stuff. So, like for me, it's really hard to find influencer because that's one of the thing. Like for all these kind of products, it's really hard to find influencers. So I usually use all the platform like influence.co, Upfluence, Clear, and all these platforms. They are pretty expensive. Like influence and affluence is expensive platform. So for someone who is just starting with influencer marketing, what would you suggest? How they can find an influencer instead of using all these platforms?
Yeah, the best thing I would do is actually just build. So first and foremost, you need to start at the basics, and you need to build out a customer persona. Okay, you have to get a customer persona built out, and I have one. I can give it to your audience if you want.
Yeah,
But
for
the
sure.
customer
I would
persona,
love it.
yeah, the customer persona is basically, it lines out who your customer is, where do they hang out, what do they purchase, that sort of thing. Start there first, and then I would start searching myself manually. I don't like using services like that are aggregators, simply for the fact that the people that are signing up for those platforms are doing it because they want to make money, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I like paying people that are worth paying. The problem is that they're looking to make, generally speaking, they're looking to make a quick buck. They're not looking to have a long-term partnership. And what I like to do is to reach out to and connect with influencers on my own. And so you can do, say, like, go to Google and just do a search for like dog influencers, or even just like dog bloggers, or bulldog bloggers, or something like that. You can go to those blogs, and then you can oftentimes will find um, access to. Sorry, one of my friends is being a jerk, and he's texting me nonstop. I got to turn on auto. It's like literally just 10 messages all in the same in a row, and I've completely lost my train of thought.
I have this
Okay.
kind of friend as well. So
Oh
that's okay.
gosh, geez. Okay, one of my friends used to write a program that would text me 1,000 messages in an hour. He was such a jerk. Anyway, so the blog. Go to the blog. Let's say you're looking for bulldog influencers, and you find a blog about bulldogs. You can go connect to them on social. And generally, what I do is, you're not going to get anywhere if you just message them, just direct message right away. You want to start commenting on their photos. What I say is, like 5 photos, comment on 3, and really engage back and forth in 1. And you want to do that a handful of times, because you want the person to get familiar with who you are, so that when you message them, DM them, they're going to see it and they're going to reply. Chances are, if you just message somebody that you looked up, um, they're not going to read it, or they're going to see it as a sales pitch from you to them, and then they're going to ask for a bigger sum of money up front. So that's kind of the way to do it yourself, is to search
Actually,
people on your own.
that's a DIY method which you shared. And that's really like that's an effective one. Probably I think that's an effective one because you are engaging with them before sending them your sales pitch. So this can work. And this might
Exactly.
work like better than the way we do it. Simply hop onto their DMs and sending them the pitch. Oh, hey Jenny, would you like to work with me? I have a product on Amazon. I will give you this. And like if you start connecting with Jenny before sending her a DM, probably this will create a great impact. So we have one question from Hassan. He said, like, what are the sales projection percentile in comparison to Nano and a develop influencer? The marginal difference in price trade-off, not who is cheap, but who is effective, because marketing budgets are pre-decided, so not a big deal.
Okay, that's a great question. It's a very That's a deep question too. So, um, Generally speaking, nano influencers are going to drive more brand awareness and less sales, generally speaking, because what we look at nano influencers are long-term partnerships where people are continually posting about you. And so what you'll see is a sales lift over time. It's not going to be a massive sales bump right away. So that's generally what we see. Now, if you have a budget to work with somebody who's got a really big audience, again, the tactic that I would take, starting with your persona, make sure that the person aligns with your persona. Make sure their audience aligns with your persona. Ask them for data. Ask them for engagement data. Ask them for demographic data. Have them send you everything. And then, generally speaking, people like this will have a manager, or they'll be very experienced doing it themselves, and they'll have typically like packages that you can work within. The ones that are the most effective are the ones that are really well thought out and creative. Again, it's not going to be the ones where they're just like $750 and we'll put you in our video. Like, we've done that in the past. Waste of money, complete waste of money. Threw it down the drain. I got a new espresso machine for $800. I should have just spent it on that. It would have been a better investment. I'm
Oh my
serious.
god. This one is hilarious, actually. I would say that buying an espresso machine instead of getting an influencer. Oh my
I'm
god.
serious. Like, well, because they didn't put any thought behind it. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They were just trying to promote it to they were just trying to make money. So going back in time, what I would tell myself and anybody listening is that you want to work with people that actually care about coming up with a creative way to market your product. That's going to take time and it's going to take more money, thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, generally speaking. But if you do something like that, you can create like a joint venture partnership. So let's say that you have the ability to co-brand your product with them. If you co-brand your product with them in partnership with them, then they're essentially promoting themselves, right? So
Yeah.
like supplements or something are good like that, or beauty category. You can make a custom line of cosmetics for an influencer. They don't have that ability, but you do, so that you could co-brand it with them. And then the trade-off is they get a healthy percentage of all the money that they make. So that's what I'm saying is I like talking nano influencer because it's attainable for everybody. Anybody can do it. It's just hard work. If you don't want to do it, you can hire us. If you want to learn how to do it, you can do it yourself. It's like I said, it's just hard work. The other way, it's still hard work. It just takes more money and it takes more time. Generally, it takes a more established brand too, because an influencer is not going to partner with you if you have no social proof. They just
Yeah.
won't.
And like Paul, I can agree with you on this because I have seen this as a trend that huge brands, a bigger brand, they are also partnering up with nano influencers.
Yeah.
Although they don't have any issue with spending a whole lot of money, but they are also working with nano influencers because they know this nano influencers have serious potential of growing, and they have like audience which is very much familiar to them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love it. So what does chat marketing have to do with influencer marketing? It's well, it doesn't. Ch- Chat marketing is just conversation. It's just creating conversations that convert. That's really all chat marketing is that you're opening a conversation and you're allowing people to communicate with you when and how they want to communicate with you. If you missed the very start of this, I would say you can watch it because Atif asked that at the start.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into that again, but
No, no.
that other reason at the start.
And like you answered Hassan's question, and Hassan has a reply like it is very smart to build your own nano influencer. Now the question is answered. I agree with the working long-term relationship to result that the approach I would go do. I agree to build persona. So Paul, I have one last question from my side, and probably that's the most hilarious one. I heard you. I heard you saying that you have a strategy that's 100% whitehead when it's come to influencer marketing. Would you
Mhm.
like to shed some light over this?
Well, that's when really influencer marketing is 100% white hat, because again, if you go into working with people that are going to help you promote your products, you're not going to, when you start doing this, their followers are going to purchase your stuff, and they're not going to be generally, you're not going to have to give them a rebate or something. The bigger the
Yeah.
buzz about your brand, the less you have to give away for free, and the less you have to give away in discounts. Um, I would actually watch this. This may sound silly, but there was a Vice News pseudo documentary by the guy's name is Uba, U
Hmm.
or OOBA, and he's this blonde British guy. He did this whole experiment to see if he could open up a fake review his way to the top of Yelp to be the best restaurant in London. Now,
Yeah, I watched the
all,
documentary. I loved it.
it's it's hilarious because all that proves is the power of social proof. Obviously, the reviews are fake, and I'm not saying get fake reviews, but what I'm trying to say is that a crowd attracts a crowd. So it's white hat. Obviously, if you're going to game your way to the top and fake reviews and all that stuff, that's not white hat. We know that. But when you have a crowd of people that are behind you and they are avidly supporting your brand, it's going to help other people want to support your brand. More people are going to see that and they're going to be like, well, I got to take a picture of my cute kid as well. Or I got to take a picture of myself working out, like whatever line you're in. So when it comes to launching products, what we do is we leverage our influencers, we leverage chatbots, we leverage increase Amazon PPC, we do Google ads. We don't do just one thing, and we do everything. And so when it comes to that, it is white hat because Amazon wants traffic coming in. We generally don't do very big discounts because I don't like losing money. I like making money, and I don't like giving
Yeah.
my stuff away for free. I'll give it away for free to people who have proven that they're a part of our team, that are part of our fan club, that are part of our brand ambassador team. And when it comes to reviews, same thing. If you just have amazing customer service, what we do in our inserts is when people register their product, we weren't doing this for the longest time, but we're switching it up now because I don't know why we weren't doing this, but we're asking for feedback. And then we also invite them to join our squad. And in that, it's 100% white hat because people are coming in, they're registering their purchase. We're not saying you have to register your purchase or leave a review to get something. And that's the key, is understanding Amazon's terms of service, understanding what they want from their platform, and making sure that you give them what they want.
Yeah. So thank you so much for summarizing everything, and thank you so much for answering my last question, which is 100% whitehead. Yeah, it is, but the thing which everyone needs to consider is getting through an Amazon TOS before starting with anything. So thank you so much for sharing all the knowledge bombs, and it was a great session full of laughs. Actually, I really enjoyed it.
That's good.
Thank you so much. It's 9 in the
So,
morning, and you are pretty active right now
well, it's the
already.
coffee. I also, like I said, I got in an argument with my wife, so it got my heart pumping, and so I got to go up there, and now I got to talk. And so the persona. How do you want me to
Yeah.
give the links to your audience? Just give them to you, and then you
So
can put them
you
in the
did,
Facebook chat.
yeah. You can send me the link, and I will post it on my after this recording on Facebook and YouTube both, so people can
Okay.
connect to it.
So this one is for this one is for the insert method. The other, I'll give you another one that will be for the persona.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you.
good. Thank you so
All right.
much.
See
Catch
you
you on
guys.
Clubhouse soon. Yeah.
Yep. I'll be there.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Have a nice
All right.
day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.